Hi all, Alan here, and today I'd like to compare GPT-3 to GPT-4 to Google Bard and see how good they are at creating a Pico-8 game of Snake is what I'm going to try. So we'll go for GPT-3 first and see what it comes up with. Okay, it's creating the snake. It's using the update method there, so that's looking pretty good at the moment. Well, I've never actually seen this input tag in Pico-8, so it must be being called from somewhere. But let's input this into Pico-8 and see if it actually works. I find with these generative AIs, half the time the code doesn't actually work. So let's see what happens with this. Oh, we've got an error. And what are we saying? So let's tell ChatGPT that and see if it can fix it. But then let's go ahead and see if I ask the same question to ChatGPT 4, what will happen, and if it even runs. Oh, looks like I've been naughty, more than one message at a time, so why don't we go ahead and ask Bard that question while we wait for this one to finish. Okay, the output straight away, but although this is Lua, this is not Pico-8 Lua, obviously looking at some love code. Even when looking at the update functions, events, yeah, even the drawing code. So let's see if we can prompt Bard to actually write in Pico-8. Is in love 2D. Give me the code in Pico-8, and let's see what that comes up with. And let's regenerate response for ChatGPT 4 and see if it's more successful than 3. Oh God, look at Bard over here, it's gone and written me code in C. Yeah, interesting. Okay, no, that's incorrect. Right. Pico-8. Let's see what happens. Since we have this code here, why don't we go ahead and try and run the GPT-3 version of it again. To be honest, I'm not going to be that hopeful here. No, still. So I'm either going to give it that error or I'm going to possibly fix that error myself. GPT-4 seems to have slowed down on me. You think if you're paying for it, it would run properly, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let's see what Bard's come up with. It's gone love again. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to push this to actually be Pico-8. Let's see if maybe I can nudge it in the right direction. Pico-8 as a game loop. Has a function in it. Function update and function draw. Can you use these to write a snake game in Pico-8? GPT-4 is slow, but I do think the code is looking a bit better. Let's see, let's compare it to GPT-3 here. See, we don't have that silly input function that we have in GPT-3. I think I'm going to have to do continue for this one. Okay, looks like the code was almost finished for that one, so let's bung that into another window and see what happens. Error on this one as well. Unclosed function at line 86. Well, the game over has an end there. Yep, it's missing another end. That should be fine. So we just go for this end is for the if. And what have I done there? Okay, great. What seems like the same error for GPT-3. A bit of a different line. So what are we saying? Line 25. C table should work. So it's saying we've got snake and head as tables, I wonder. Well, we definitely have snake and head is just God, such a terrible editor, really is. this code. Okay, that's the table for the head. So now I don't actually know if I can select code from here. No, I can't. So tenth index table nil value. So what we'll do is we'll grab this and go get error on this line. Attempts to index global table and nil value. I don't really think it should need to do that. But we'll see. Is the code similar here? Let's go to 58 and find out. There we go, at 58, so it's that table will move. So we'll ask a similar question to GPT-4 and see if it comes up with a similar response or not. I've not given up on Bard yet, but I may do soon because it just keeps coming back. See, this code it's given me looks a bit closer. We've got the clear screens that Pico-8 uses. Also the weights, it's just these go-tos. They might exist in Pico-8, but I haven't used them, so I'm not entirely sure if this code is correct, but it is definitely looking... this main loop bit looks a bit Python-y, but the rest of it almost there. So let's first ask GPT-4 the question then. No, I've pasted that in already. Wow, GPT-4 really is slow, but it looks like it's being cleverer. It's being cleverer than GPT-3, because if I copy this, it looks like I need to continue on there, so I can't just copy it just yet, but I'm pretty certain this will not work. But let's get this into the editor anyhow, while we wait for GPT-4 continue. Okay, looks like it was close to completing there. Let's get this in just so we can see an error, I think. Let's see what happens. Apologize, what have I done? Okay, let's remove that. think we're gonna give up on ChatGPT 3 for now. I have actually gotten something that looks like a snake game out of ChatGPT 3 before. Not working, never working, always struggling with it. There's always things you need to change, but it's done worse today. So yeah, let's stop with GPT-3. You can see it's in the right direction, but you kind of have to help it along, or at some point you have to stop and say, look, I'm taking this as a skeleton, I'm doing the rest of the code myself. Let's actually try and see what Bard's version is like. It'll be interesting to see if these go-tos actually work. I'm not going to take this main part because I really don't think it's required. Let's open up the other window here, and let's see. Okay, error on line 44. There's no visible label, game over. See, it's these go-to things, which I'm not entirely sure what they are. So what I'm going to do is just put these functions in there and see if that works. Instead of doing a go-to, let's just run the function. Like this one's go-to main. Let's see if there's any go-tos at the top first. See, look, there's go-to game over again. Let's just run the function. Oops. Any more go-tos? Start, so I guess there's a function called start. And then there's one for main. Let's see what happens now. See, again, it's random is not random in Pico-8, it's RND. I'm helping Bard along a bit more than I expected. But I do want to see if it's close to working. And we'll see what happens. Is there any more RNDs? Not that I can see. So it's saying the for limit must be a number. So guessing snake.length is not returning a number. What's that on line 54? See, I don't actually think. I think the table length in Pico-8 is again like a Pico-8 function. So I don't actually think that works. So let's see, we've got accounts for Pico-8, we'll try that instead. So here we'll do count snake. Wow, we have a line and then a game over. So not entirely sure what's happening there. And I guess if I had to push Bard now, it's still going to give me these. Why don't we paste in the code and actually see what happens? So let's grab the code from here and say this is the code. paste the code and see if it can understand. And now we'll go back to ChatGPT 4. Maybe comparing all these three wasn't a great idea. It's a bit confusing. So we'll get this into the game over part, but I do believe this has a few more errors as well. So we're looking at if not game over, right? Yep, we are. And it looks like it's just this part. Okay, so now another problem with these chatbots is, yeah, they just start making up stuff. Like, this is a function that doesn't exist. Let's go ahead and tell it. Doesn't exist. I think I'm going to have to give these chatbots some easier tasks. It's telling me I need an update loop over in Bard, but Pico-8 has its own update functions. So not really correct there. The thing with Pico-8 is if you give it the init, the draw, and the update, it kind of runs itself at that point. So yes, I don't think it's correct. We've got a draw there, we've got an update, and we've got an initialize function. Let's see what. Okay, let's paste in this and see if GPT-4 is any better. Well, that's grown a bit, hasn't it? It's put in the button presses as well. It looks like, did I put that in the wrong place? Was good. We've got two if nots. Okay, let me grab this, put it in, see what happens. Great, so now we've got new head, which doesn't exist here. And we've got new food. Yeah, there is no new head. Well, at least our coding jobs won't be taken anytime soon with this this many mistakes. Here we go. Let's see what happens with this update. I think it's probably time to give up on Bard now as well. Wow, I don't know what what ChatGPT 4 is doing here. Well, I thought this would be a fun comparison, but obviously none of them are too capable at the moment. So I'm gonna have to go for something a bit smaller. I did want them to try and make games, but that's not working. So we might just have to go for array sorts and other boring stuff like that, and see how well they do, I guess. Which is a bit sad. So let's close this one now. Let's close the one for Bard, so we know we're just looking at ChatGPT 4. I think maybe we've got one extra end, possibly. Wow, we have a score. Oop, we've even got a game over. There's probably something moving on the screen somewhere. Can't see a snake on the screen. Let's see what it says. It's apologising again. Do you think we'll get anything moving? I should have told it that there's no food on the screen either. But let's see. Well, it's going and drawing food, so maybe I'll get something, hey? Yeah, GPT-4, considering it's paid and it only gives you, I think, 25 messages per 3 hours, which just doing this video, it looks like I'm going to get through my allowance. Yeah, it's quite slow at the moment. I think the answers are better from what I'm seeing, but this is actually the first time I've been trying GPT-4 on this video right now, so I'll update you on my findings, but the output's definitely better. Just the slowness at the moment. It's just that's a bit of a problem. And you can see I don't have my chat history on the sides, and that's just me going into the developer console and actually doing a display none and removing the sides just for this video. So if anyone has any questions on how I got it to look like this, see, it's trying to draw a sprite, but the sprites haven't been created, so I really don't think this is going to work. But let's see what the draw function looks like. Yeah, sprites again. It's kind of doing the same segment code. Yeah, I really can't see this working. So all it's done is change this to 4 basically. But because we have no sprites, yeah, I don't think it's going to write anything new here that's going to make it work. See, I could put some sprites in there for it, but I just didn't want to push it along that much. We'll do that. We'll just do sprite 1, but then how is it growing these sprites? Sprite 2, and we'll go to the sprite editor. Sprite 1 can just be like red. That's for the food. And sprite 2 can just be full on dark green. And let's see. Ooh, look at that. We have movement. But the key presses aren't working now. So I don't know if collision detection would work or if the snake would grow, but it's closer than it was, I suppose. So is that what we currently have in the code? Let's take a look. Wow, like I feel like I'm using the free version of GPT-3 here. The way I'm getting errors in the body and stuff. That's kind of shocking. I was just going to look at the movement code. Yeah, so the button presses are fine, but the direction code is probably all out of whack. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here, guys. But if there's any like comparisons you'd like to see, please let me know, because I'm going to do some more comparisons on GPT-4 versus GPT-3. Coding, yeah, I might go for something a bit simpler and see how they do. The clear winner for me at the moment is GPT-4, but as you've seen it, they're not great at generating games from scratch. At least they could probably help you along. I'll check how they do creatively as well. But for now, I'm gonna stop this here. Like I said, let me know if there's any comparisons you'd like to see, and that'll be me. Alan out.